President Trump says some furloughed federal workers should not get back pay when the federal government shutdown comes to an end. And U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi sparred with Democrats as she testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday. Good morning, I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. President Trump says some furloughed federal workers should not get back pay when the federal government shutdown is over, but he says he'll follow the law. NPR's Deepa Shivaram reports the Trump administration argues that it does not mean all workers will get their missed wages.
A law from 2019 signed by President Trump in his first term stipulates that all federal workers whose paychecks are paused during a government shutdown will receive the pay they've missed. But this time around, when Trump was asked whether furloughed workers should be paid.
But it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
Trump's comments come on the heels of a draft memo from the White House that suggests that any back pay would require congressional action. Deepa Shivaram, NPR News, the White House.
Some essential workers are still on the job without pay. That includes air traffic controllers. The Federal Aviation Administration is reporting staffing shortages at airports in Houston, Dallas, Boston, and others. Nick Daniels, the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, says this group of workers is already severely understaffed and under strain.
Air traffic controllers don't start a shutdown. Air traffic controllers don't end a shutdown. Politicians are the only ones that start a shutdown and have the ability to end it. Air traffic controllers are going to show up and do everything we can, but the longer that this lasts, it's going to place a continued strain on air traffic controllers.
He spoke to NPR's Morning Edition. There's no indication Democrats and Republicans are close to agreement on a spending bill to end the shutdown. Former FBI Director James Comey will appear in a federal courthouse today to formally hear 2 felony charges against him. Comey is a critic of President Trump, and his arraignment comes a day after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi sparred with Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee. NPR's Elena Moore reports they say she has used her agency to go after Trump's political enemies.
Committee Democrats used their time to press Pam Bondi on a slew of recent moves that they say are politically motivated, including the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey and the decision to close a federal probe into border czar Tom Homan, who allegedly accepted a $50,000 bribe from an undercover FBI agent. Many exchanges grew heated, including this one with California Democrat Adam Schiff.
You can attack me after my time is over.
You've attacked all of us, including President Trump, for your entire career.
You can attack me later, and I know you've got plenty of canned attacks. We've heard them all day today.
Senate Republicans praised Bondi's work, saying she's repaired an agency that had previously been weaponized against President Trump. Elena Moore, NPR News.
Texas National Guard troops have arrived in Illinois after President Trump ordered them to go there. The Texas Newsroom's Blaise Gainey reports the Texas National Guard troops were deployed against the wishes of Illinois officials.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker condemned the move as an invasion and urged Texas Governor Greg Abbott to withdraw support. But Abbott has backed Trump's decision and posted photos of Texas Guard members boarding planes, calling them elite and ever ready. Normally, governors control their National Guard units, but the president can federalize them in rare situations, a power the Trump administration argues is justified by what they call rebellion against federal authority. The administration says the troops are needed to protect federal personnel and property as immigration enforcement intensifies. I'm Blaise Gainey in Austin.
The Trump administration has until tonight to respond to a lawsuit by Illinois officials. They're trying to block President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops there. Trump says he's trying to stop crime. He posted online this morning Chicago's mayor and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker should be in jail. Trump alleges they don't protect ICE officers. After 2 days of preliminary talks, high-level negotiations begin today in Egypt to try to end the Gaza war. NPR's Daniel Estrin has more from Tel Aviv.
Negotiations begin today in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, with high-level mediation by senior officials. President Trump has sent his envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner. Qatar's prime minister is also taking part, and for the first time, so is Turkey's intelligence chief. Israel and Hamas have senior officials attending. They don't meet face-to-face, but mediators shuttle between the sides. Both sides are voicing optimism. Hamas officials say they seek guarantees from the U.S. and other countries that if they release Israeli hostages, that will put a final end to the war. Hamas has presented its list of Palestinian prisoners it wants Israel to release in exchange. Daniel Estrin, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
President Emmanuel Macron is searching for a way out of France's political crisis. He's trying to avoid dissolving the French parliament and calling fresh legislative elections. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley reports Macron told his outgoing prime minister, who resigned Monday, to find a last-minute agreement among the divided political parties.
Political scientist Corinne Melul says France's Fifth Republic has a two-round voting system meant to elect one majority party, that of the president, which then governs. But she says it's no longer working in France's increasingly fragmented political landscape, where there is no majority in agreement in the center and the largest voting blocs are on the right and left extremes.
The two do not work together. There's no political culture of compromise, like Nordic countries, Italy, Germany, where you have coalition governments. It's the only way to put a government together.
In France, she says, governing with a coalition is not in the political culture. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
The Nobel Prize in Chemistry has been awarded to 3 scientists who showed how to create porous materials that can store gases like hydrogen and capture water from the air. NPR's John Hamilton has more.
The prize went to Susumu Kitagawa of Kyoto University in Japan, Richard Robson of the University of Melbourne, Australia, and Omar Yagi of the University of California, Berkeley. They were honored for their pioneering work on materials called metal-organic frameworks. The frameworks are molecular structures that contain large spaces inside, which can be used to capture and store a wide range of substances. One application is capturing the carbon dioxide produced by power plants. Another is to store and release hydrogen so that it can be safely used as a fuel. And in desert areas, metal-organic frameworks can be used to extract drinking water from even the driest air. John Hamilton, NPR News.
Chinese media say all climbers on Mount Everest who were trapped by a heavy and sudden snowstorm have been rescued. The Associated Press says about 900 hikers, guides, and staff had been stranded. Hundreds were able to descend the mountain. Earlier, some witnesses had said the snowfall on Everest was so heavy that it collapsed tents. California has designated Diwali, the Festival of Lights, celebrated by Hindus as an official holiday. The California law also recognizes that Diwali is celebrated by Sikhs, Buddhists, and Jains. Connecticut and Pennsylvania also recognize Diwali as a holiday. This year it begins on October 20th. This is NPR.